morning all of you. You are most welcome to the online classes of the Asian International Senior Secondary School. Today we will study about subject science of class 9th and chapter 1 matter in surroundings. Children, in previous classes I have already explained about the meaning of effect of temperature on matter and effect of temperature and effect of heat on matter. But now I would like to explain about one remaining topics of the previous class, that is sublimation. Sublimations. The new term in this class, meaning of sublimations. Children, we have studied that when we apply heat or temperature, the form of one substance becomes changed into another form. Like this, when solid substance is to be given the higher temperature, it changes into its liquid state. But we have seen some of the such substances which show the different properties. When solid is to be given the heat, that does not changes into liquid state. Directly they changes into gas state. This phenomena is called as sublimation. I would like to write change of solid state to gas state. Change of solid state to gas state of matter is called sublimation. Some of the such substances which show this type of properties, they are called as sublimative substances. Example of such type of sublimative substances: naphthalene, ammonium chloride, iodine. These are the some of such substances which show that this type of properties. Let us do an activity now. See, suppose we have taken the one of porcelain plate like this. This is the porcelain plate. It is to be kept on a tripod stand, and that tripod stand's hands is fitted just above the burner. This is burner. You have seen, when you put small amount of camphor into it, this way, suppose this is the camphor, or we can say this is naphthalene. Kapoor, you have heard about it. You put one inverted funnel on it. You will observe that inverted funnel. This is to be kept in this way, and just close it with the cotton piece in this way. When you apply the heat on this material, this will change into vapor, not matter. This will change into vapor, and this portion is cooled because this is connected with the environment, and the portions of camphor or naphthalene is to be deposited on this surface. So depositions of this surface show that this vapor of this naphthalene, suppose camphor or naphthalene, I am writing camphor, is changing into solid state to vapor, and again vapor is changing into solid state. There is no changing in liquid state. We can write in this way, solid it changes into gases, and again gases changes into solid. Solid changes into gases, no liquid is to be seen here, and these gases again become deposited in this band portions of the inverted funnel. So solid into changes. This type of changes is called as sublimations. Understand? So this is the one new phenomena, effect of temperature on solids. So this is the new and important phenomena of the matter. Now we will study about our next topic, that is change of pressure. Change of pressure of a metal. See, change of pressure. See that pressure. See here is to be taken three of this type of tubes which contain the gases, and every of the tubes, three of the tubes, suppose A, B and C. These three of the tubes A, B and C, these three of tubes contains the pistons. This type of pistons, this is the pistons and this is to be pressed by this handle. So this is piston. When this piston is applied on these gases, because here some of the molecules of gases are filled. See, they are very far. The molecules of the gases are very far. When this piston is to be pressed in this way, in case of B, you will observe that the pistons reaches here. This is pressurization. So it is to be pressed here, and this pistons goes inside into the tube. You will observe that these particles are not far away. They are coming closer to each another. They are coming to closer to each another. Means pressure is to be applied on these gaseous molecules, and gaseous molecules are to be changing into another state. And at last, when we applied a lot of pressure, you will observe that this is also a piston. In part of C, you will observe that in this case, whole of the particles will be condensed in a very small volume. So in this case, we can say the particles are very nearest to each another. In this state is called as liquid state, and this is also gas but contains foam, and this is also gas. So we can understand by this activity, when we apply the higher pressure on the matter or gases, that can be changed into liquid state. So this process is called as what is the meaning of this process? Change of pressure on gases and changing into liquid state is called as liquefacions. This is called as liquefacions. Meaning changing of gas state into liquid state is called as liquefations of gases. So this is the activity that show that change of gases into liquid. Again, if you observe that when we remove that the pressure, this will be again changed into gas state. That will be changed into gas state. You have seen LPG cylinder, but you have observed that cylinder contains the liquid inside it. Yes or no? Yes. The LPG cylinder, when you hold it, when you just stir it, you observe that the cylinder contains liquid inside it. But when you open the burner, the things, can you get that the liquid gases? No. At that time, we are removing the pressure that are present on it, and when we remove the pressure, that all liquid gases molecules goes very far away to each another, and they changes into its previous situations or in gas state. So this is change of pressure on matter. Now see, let us do one more of the things. You have seen some of the meanings like this. Vaporizations. So I would like to explain the meaning of vaporizations. See, vaporizations, changing of liquid into vapor before its boiling points. That is called as vaporizations. Vaporizations means changing of liquid into vapor before boiling point is called vaporizations. Vaporizations. Do you know how we can explain in this way? We will take so many examples are here about the meaning of vaporizations. Now see, you take some of the things are here. Suppose you have taken water into beaker. This is filled with water, H2O. Water is filled into the beaker. After some time you observe that this becomes changed. The level of that becomes changed. Means that is to be remains in this way. Why? This level is decreases into this. Why it happens? Before its boiling points. Before its boiling points, so many particles that are present inside it, they strike to each another. And that particle, suppose this is the particles, this will strike with the another particles, again this will strike with the another particles, again this will strike. In this way, Brownian movement of the particles are to be seen here. And due to this reason, the particles becomes energized. And due to higher energy of the particles, some of the particles they left behind to its surface, and then these particles moves into the gas state. This is gas and this is liquid. So when that changes into gas state, then remains into the gaseous portions or surroundings in a vapor states. So before changing of liquid into gaseous state, before its boiling point is called as vaporizations. That vaporizations phenomenon is not like this after it completed, after over the boiling point, doesn't require. See that sometimes you have seen when ladies that applies the acetone or nail polish remover on the nails, after some time they get that is to be dried. Why it happens? Because before boiling points it becomes vaporizes, right? You can take one you can perform an activity, take small amount, some of the drops of gasoline or petrol on your palm. Keep it for 5 to 10 minutes. Later you observe that liquid portions become vaporizes. Today and in these days you are using that sanitizer. So when you put some drops of the sanitizers on your palm, you rub it and after some time you observe that it becomes disappeared. Why it happens? Due to vaporizations of that liquids. That does not boil, that does not reaches at the melting point or boiling points, but that changes into its vapor state. So this phenomena is called as vaporizations. Now see some of the examples. Rate of vaporizations means how fast completed that the vaporizations. That depends some of the factors like this. Rate of vaporizations that depends on some of factors. See that rate of vaporizations. Rate of vaporizations. Now see the first point. How the vaporizations increases. The first of concept, that is surface area is proportional to vaporizations. Means surface area is increases, the vaporizations is increases. Let us speak. When we keep our wet cloths on a stand or on wire or whatever are there stand, we keep and we spread that wet cloth on the stand. Why? We can keep that all of the cloths into a group, but we can change the positions of that matter. Means we can change into in this state. So this is the first. Surface area is increases, easily the water presents into the cloth, that becomes changes into its vapor state. So this is the first. Surface area is increases, the rate of vaporizations is increases. Second one, temperature. Temperature is increases and that is vaporizations is increases. You have seen temperature. What happens in case of temperature? When temperature increases, sometimes you have seen that in winter seasons, when you put your hands, wet hands, in front of a dryer, you observe that a hot air blows from the dryers on your hand and that becomes dry. Why it happens? Due to increase in temperature, because the dry airs, the hot airs, the hot blowing airs is increasing the temperature, and due to that increase in temperature, that hands becomes dry. So this is the things. Next one, humidity. Third factor is humidity. Humidity is proportional to 1 of vaporizations, meaning humidity is increases and vaporizations is decreases. In rainy seasons, you have seen most of the water vapors are present in our surroundings due to presence of higher of humidity. The cloth remains wet for a long time. Why? Because due to presence of water vapor into the atmosphere, the water present into the wet clothes does not gets, that not changes, that not reaches in the atmosphere. So that depends on humidity. Next one is air speed or speed of air. This is speed of air. Listen, this is proportional to vaporizations. That is speed of air. Speed of air increases and vaporizations is increases. You have seen when you come from outside and you sit in front of cooler, you observe that vapor is coming closer to you and your face is becomes dry. Means the most of sweat that are present on your face that becomes dry. Why it happens? That is happens due to presence of which air that is coming to the cooler. So this is the one more important factors. So rate of vaporizations is depends on these factors, and these factors are responsible for the increasing or decreasing of rate of vaporizations. So this our topic is being completed today. I hope that you understand very interestingly. Thank you and have a nice day.